Hey everyone. I'm so sorry. It seems like every time I I check behind stage, everything's fine with the greet screen, and then as soon as I go live, it's like, nah. So sorry. Hello and sorry. How are you, Jennifer?
I'm good. How are you, Rosee?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm StreamYard, but like StreamYard is an answer now to how are you? Like, how are you? Well, StreamYard. Yeah. Other than that, doing well. Thank you everyone who's here. I am really excited to cover these two cases, the cases that we're going to be comparing today. And you guys are going to tell me at the end if it's all in my head that these cases are similar or if you think so too. I also just wanted to tell everyone thank you for the emails I've been getting. We are going to talk about Anna Kepner, but that's just going to be tomorrow. So today we're going to stick to our schedule of talking about these two cases and kind of getting a little bit of a comparative study going, at which point you can tell me yes, no, they're similar. And then tomorrow we will definitely be focusing on the Anna Kepner updates. So don't worry, nobody's forgotten about Anna. It's very good news. I'm very happy to be able to report that it's good news. And I'm sure you've seen the news, Jennifer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good news.
Yeah. All right, who's here today? This feels a bit strange being on the wrong screen, but at least at least it's quieter. Hi, CJ. Thank you for listening in. And hi, Rita. And Kip Kitty. Good to see you. Yeah, so okay, let me stop asking you. Are you familiar with this case at all, Jennifer? And people in chat can tell me as well. Like, by this case, I'm talking about Courtney Clenney's case, which is a murder case of her boyfriend Christian Obumseli.
Yeah, it's a very strange case. I was watching her interviews at the police station after it happened, and it's a crazy interview.
I know.
She made sure she told the police that she was the victim. She stated that twice. So there's no mistake that, she was the victim, but it's so obvious that she really wasn't a victim at all.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that case is that it's obvious in a number of ways. It's obvious, like, forensically. It's obvious that her story doesn't really make any sense. It's obvious from watching that interview turned interrogation, from all of the things leading up to it. So, very interesting, and I'm really excited to see what you guys think in relation to if this is at all similar to Makenzie Shirilla's case. And there's a couple of things that I think are very similar. So I'm gonna get straight into this video. Let me put the details in chat. This is a Court TV video. You know, Court TV is one of my favorites. I'll always find time for them. There we go. All right. Okay. let's get started. And I'm going to put it on a little bit of a faster speed. And as per usual, please feel free to stop me along the way if you have anything to say at all. Jennifer and chat.
Okay.
Courtney Clenney is an only.
Oh, yes. I'm sure that a lot of people are aware of what she does for a living. If you're not, I'd rather just look it up. I'm not. I've noticed a lot of channels say that. Just look it up. So I think it's acceptable that I'm not going to get into it. Just Google it.
OnlyFans model earning 7 figures. She was in a violent, toxic relationship with a man named Christian Obumseli.
It's over for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Then the violence turned fatal. Clenney was arrested and charged with Obumseli's murder.
Sit down, sit down. Do me a favor, sit down. Do not move. Do not move.
Why are you yelling at me?
Do not move, sit down.
Okay,
We don't know what's going on. We don't know what happened.
She was literally caught with blood on her hands.
Is he dead? Is he dead?
But there's a video that tells a different story that may just set her free.
I want you to restrain the order against Christian.
Clenney's attorneys now say that she is the victim. The crime scene was horrific and bloody, and yet Courtney Clenney admits she is the one responsible. But what happened inside that apartment on that day does not tell the whole story. There's another video that tells a much different story. I'm going to show it to you, and that's the video that may just set her free. I'm Vinny Politan. Let's investigate. Today's video and today's story, today's saga and drama reminds me a lot of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. I mean, we all watched that together. Those two had such an intense relationship, but it was toxic. It was absolutely a toxic relationship. And those two went at it. They verbally argued and fought, and things got physical from time to time. We saw some of the damage on Johnny Depp's finger. But the difference between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and today's couple is that today's couple's toxic relationship became a toxic, fatal relationship. And I'm talking about Courtney Clenney and Christian Obumseli. They too, like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, had this intensity where they loved each other, but at the same time, they hated each other. They didn't trust each other, and there was a lot of jealousy. And a lot of that was fueled by how young they were, perhaps insecure, and also fueled by the fact that Courtney made herself a very public persona. She was an OnlyFans model. And for those of you who don't know what OnlyFans is, it's a little different than this video. It's a video where you pay a subscription and the person running the OnlyFans page will do things upon request. And it usually involves the removal of clothing and the engaging in very private moments and acts. And she was making a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money from this OnlyFans. We're talking 7 figures. And just as a young 20-something-year-old, getting that kind of cash is leading to a lifestyle where she's basically in charge. She's the one with the pocketbook, with the wallet, with the purse, controlling the finances for this couple. Now, Christian Obumseli was a day trader. He was into crypto, maybe, but she was the one paying the bills in that $12,000 a month studio apartment they had down in Miami.
So I just want to stop it there because that was one thing. Like I know we're going to talk a lot about the similarities between the two cases, but it would only be fair to point out the differences as well. So one thing that is strikingly similar is that both the victim and the perpetrator in these cases had the same line of work. So if you're comparing Dom and Christian, they're trading stocks, they're doing the crypto thing, and then we've got both girls who are influencers and very involved on social media. But like a fundamental difference in the dynamic is that Courtney Clenney was the breadwinner, I guess. She was extremely successful in what she did, which I suppose that does it changes things a lot, because we've heard that Makenzie Shirilla was dependent on Dom financially completely. So I guess it's only fair to point out that that's like polar opposites. So while we're looking at similarities, I am going to point those out along the way too, but their career choices are the same, which is also interesting to me. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kip Kitty, we're doing like a catch up on Courtney Clenney, and the reason I wanted to introduce it now is because she's going to trial. It was supposed to be in April, and then there was another continuance, and I'm not sure if it's the first continuance, but this has been going on a while, and now they're saying that it will be August. So hopefully they will stick to that and we'll be ready. There have been other proceedings along the way, because Courtney Clenney's parents were also charged but then acquitted, which we'll get into when we're discussing parents, because we're going into the similarities. Parents are coming up in both too.
Now, this relationship, again, a lot of extreme behavior. I'm talking about them performing on OnlyFans together from time to time, although she went solo most of the time. But she was actually more jealous of him stepping out on her. And it fueled these fights. And these fights, they got really bad when they would travel and engage in behavior involving illicit substances, drugs, etc. And it amplified everything that was going on inside this household. Now, Courtney Clenney, on the day that Christian Obumseli is killed, is literally caught red-handed. I mean, when police respond, the blood is literally dripping from her hands. And if you go back to like Scottish law, where that term caught red-handed came from, if you were caught with blood on your hands and someone was dead and you were responsible, it was over. Like there was no case. It was open and shut. But this case is different because there's another video. And this video could set Courtney Clenney free. It's a video from the day before the knife is plunged into his chest. I'm going to show you that video. Listen carefully, because it's all about what Courtney Clenney is saying and what she's alleging that will become the framework and the foundation of her defense, and paints a completely different picture of what was going on in this relationship. Let's take a look at this video.
I've had a domestic dispute.
Can you please let me into my apartment? Please? Yes. I haven't.
Hold on. What's going on?
Okay.
Where's your apartment? You have a key? Man, you don't need to talk to me. What's going on?
Lying about that.
Where's your keys?
I'm in my.
One thing I do want to point out, from a lot of the body cam that we have seen now from the days leading up to the incident there, because there's a lot of them, but a lot of times I feel like the police that are dealing with her don't trust her. Like in the majority of them that I've seen, they're not treating her like she's a victim, even though she's saying that she is. And I find that quite interesting. It's like they have an instinct or something about it. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen some of them, but for the most part, they don't seem to take that seriously. And I guess there is something to be said about just their experience and what they've seen.
Yeah. I've noticed she comes off a little aggressive as a victim
She does.
in these body
does.
cams. She's just very aggressive towards them with, demanding, tell me what you're doing.
Yeah.
I wonder if that has something to do with why it flags them that, hey, this is not a victim.
Something does though, and that's a really good point. I think it's probably got something to do with that, as well as just, I guess she comes across as quite erratic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a combination of things, but it's interesting their response to her. It's not anything I've seen in body cam before, where they're just, that you can tell, like you can feel what they're feeling. It's like, yeah, that was interesting. But I do want to point out that this actual event of her the day before reporting Christian and saying that she wants a restraining order against him, this reminds me a lot of the texts between Makenzie and Dom's mom early on, where she's alleging that he's the problem. It's like, for me, it feels like some kind of preemptive damage control. I'm not sure if you feel like that too.
Yeah, there were some questions I had about her mom's involvement because before she calls 911, she calls her mom, wanting, what do I do? What do I do? Why didn't you call 911? So yeah, there's a relationship there with her and her mom. That's interesting.
Yeah, and it's similar to Makenzie and her mom.
Okay, where's your ID already so you can let them know that you live in the apartment?
In my apartment.
So everything's in your apartment.
It's all under my name. I pay the whole rent. He has never paid a freaking rent, and he somehow made X items for him here. I broke up with Kat. My mom came out. So like help me break up with him, and I just couldn't do it. He slept in my elevator room inside of a couch. I look up there's a couch. He slept inside of a couch in my elevator room, which is stop. Where I'm supposed to be. But I never would have helped. I never would have helped the police.
You didn't go.
I didn't. Nobody.
I called. You called. What's going on?
CJ,
Pause it there for 1 second.
I'm gonna pause it there too for this. Imagine. I mean, yeah, at least like Courtney didn't try the I remember nothing thing. Like, oh, that's so funny though. Okay, Vinny wanted to pause it as well, and I actually forgot he was there for a second. Let's see what he says.
Just for a little more context here,
Okay.
how this whole thing begins is that Courtney and Christian have this volatile relationship, and oftentimes the neighbors complain and they have to call police to respond. So this isn't Courtney Clenney who called. It's not Christian Obumseli the day before, but it's actually the folks who work at the building who called police. So police are trying to figure out what's going on here. Let's go.
The front desk personnel, this young lady, was actually, with the other guy. We were walking around. We came back. She informed us that the front desk personnel. She informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator with her, but she had her hands out like this, and she had her hands out like this, and she was like, "Oh no, I'm coming inside the elevator." So initially, me and him, we went upstairs because he was down here for a long period of time. So we engaged in a conversation with her. We spoke to her. We said, "Do you want him to come up because he can't lounge in the lobby area? Because you know why? Because he's been just laying around on the couch and everything else. And some of the residents was feeling like, why is he here and everything else." So we asked her. I said, "Do you want him to leave the property?" She said no. She don't want him.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on. Hold on. He's talking. Then you talk. Yeah, just say, "Make your turn. Make your turn."
We were quiet when you were speaking. Why not?
She said no.
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. They're picking up on how aggressive she is and how she's interrupting. She's insufferable though. Like, oh god,
She really is.
Yeah, we're not going to talk over each other. That's not what civilized people do. One first, then the other one.
oh my god. When they have to teach an adult manners, like we're not gonna talk over each other. Hey, LA Designs.
For sure. She said, "Yes, I want him to leave the property." I said, "Are you certain for sure, do you want him to leave?" "Oh, no. I said, "So I'm going to call the police because he's causing a nuisance in the lobby area because he can't be in the common area unless he's going to be in your apartment." That's totally, So somehow she locked herself out of the door. So we had to come back down here to retrieve the key. We get down here to the lobby area. Her boyfriend comes charging towards her, and we actually try to get in the middle of it. So I told Artisha to go get the keys, but she can go back into her unit. The boyfriend actually came after her, and I was walking towards there, and then I just said, enough is enough. Police need to be called. She said she don't want police to be called. But when it's in a common area, something happen like that, my safety is the residents first. We have residents out here, filming and all this stuff going on in the lobby area and causing the nuisance. So I called because we still have to walk around the property. And we need to have a word. Last time we saw him, he was on the ground level.
Okay.
So you just want to get to your apartment.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, but you told me I was allowed to talk.
Let me talk. Okay.
I feel very
What's your name? Courtney?
Yes.
Okay, Courtney.
Why do you have something against me, man? Like, I'm sure.
It seems like
It seems like
we're trying to talk. So you just want to get back in your apartment. Unfortunately, he can't be here at the property.
That is totally fine.
Okay.
He's been literally sleeping in my elevator room without permission.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna find him so he can leave the property, and you get back to your apartment. What else do you
I
need?
was told I was gonna get a chance to speak.
Go ahead, Courtney. What's going on?
Are you gonna listen?
We're listening. Go ahead.
Say something wrong.
Yes. Yes, they're all 3 here. Okay, so.
Courtney, what do you have?
Okay, hold on. It took me a long time to let them talk to me, so hold on. No, can you please just listen?
Just talk to them. I'm gonna talk to you.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need? What?
And my mom flying out. She stayed with me for a week. She had to like hang out, and we kept sleeping in the elevator inside of my like extra couch. And somehow I said, okay, mom, like it's cool for you to go home today. I think I got it from here. I literally took her to the airport this morning. I stayed in my apartment all day. I didn't take my dogs out for like 8 hours because I was afraid that when I came out here, and when I did come out, I walked my dogs. He would tell me he wouldn't leave me alone. I said, please just walk my dog.
Courtney, does he have any property in your apartment?
Yes, so much. Can I, with respect, can I please? I just feel like I'm not being heard. Okay.
Go ahead.
So I had a lot of opportunities to come out, and I did not. So when he's following me around this park, I said, there is no, your time is up. Like that's it. And then all of a sudden, like he followed me to the elevator, and I said, don't follow me. This guy's like, I shut her. When I was upstairs and they shut the door, I said, I said, shut me the. Like I really got angry because I did not love it. All I did was get my dogs now. I feel like I am really bad.
All right. So what do you want?
I want it to be like, I want to be like moderated, I guess, of like anything wrong. And I want him, okay, I want a restraining order against Christian.
I don't issue those.
No, I'm serious.
Courts.
Can I do that?
Right there.
We're gonna-
There it is. This is the day before. And she's talking to police now. I want a restraining order. This is my apartment. I'm paying for it. And you heard the description that Christian Novenselli came at her. He was sleeping in the elevator. They had broken up, and he just does not want to leave. This is the defense. Setting the foundation for what exactly is going on in this relationship, which is so important. Yes, she's the one responsible for taking Christian Novenselli's life with that knife. However, here she is playing the role, and I believe this is exactly what will happen in the trial, that she's the victim. He's the one who won't leave her alone. He's stalking her. He's coming into her apartment. She is the one who is on the right side here, trying to protect herself from this man who just won't go away, this man who doesn't understand that the relationship is over. And
So, yeah, I agree. She's not a victim. No. And I can kind of appreciate what Vinny's saying or trying to say or thinks he's saying. But she's going to reveal her true motive for wanting a restraining order very soon. And it's not that at all. It's really just that she wants to get one before him.
Oh, wow.
she wants a restraining order. That's powerful. Let's
It's
watch
not.
more.
It's not. It's not.
Okay, but how can I make myself first? Because I know him and he would do it. How can I make myself first?
You gotta get there first.
175 Northwest First Avenue.
Before
175 Northwest.
If you're already on the way.
we have no idea. We don't even know how it looks like.
We don't even know who it is. How do we know that?
So you question this. I need a restraining order against him.
Okay, did you hear all this?
Listen,
Okay, listen.
who's on the phone?
This is my dad.
Okay, well, let me
Which I think is
explain
Her
to you
dad's a
something
lawyer.
with your dad on the phone so you could hear me. You asked me, how can I get a restraining order against him? I answer you, we don't issue those. That's through court. You asked me, I need to get one before him. I told you, the only way is for you to get to court. Then you asked me, is he on the way already? And I asked you, I don't even know how he looks like. You understand? Your questions are not making much of an
I am right now, like I have not always been a victim.
So that's my opinion, is that everything about wanting to get one first and thinking that she can somehow get preferential treatment by asking the police that that I feel like that just discounts things because she's not really interested in getting one for her safety. I think that she will always be more interested in appearances than anything, much like Makenzie. Look, maybe I'm being too hard on her and she really was trying to get a restraining order. I just don't think so. I think that the key to it is how do I get one first?
Yeah, I think you're right. It's very petty reasons for doing it, but yeah, it seems
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah, and this thing of like she does this thing where she has like she wants all of the police to rally around her, and then she does this low confidential tone explaining what happened, and he was sleeping in a couch, or I don't know, I don't know what he was doing. That's also very weird, but it's like she wants special treatment, and it's. What does she think that the police are going to do? Write up a restraining order for her right there? I mean, her dad is a lawyer and he's on the phone. Can't he just be like, that's not how it works?
Yeah. Well, she probably expects special treatment.
Yeah.
And she's going to name drop dad, who's a lawyer. So
Mm.
hoping probably that'll help.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not a victim. Just not. And you know, there's footage. I'll see if it's in this video, but if it's not, it's the elevator footage that we were talking about before we started the show.
Mhm.
And in that footage, you can see that. Okay, for those of you who haven't seen it, Christian and Courtney are in an elevator together, and she's hitting him and like shoving him, and he's really restrained. He's a very large person. Like he was like tall and broad, and he was not attacking her in any way. It was like he was just trying to calmly handle what was going on around him, and she's just crazy, you know. So yeah,
That says a
Not a
lot about him. That's not easy to do when, you've been pushed to your limit and someone's roughing you up in an elevator. You're so tempted to just knock them down or do whatever you can to get them to stop. And, he wasn't hitting her back.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I know that she alleges that he was attacking her when she got the knife in this instance, but obviously we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. We never will. But it is interesting to me that there was such a distance between them while he was attacking her that she had to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
So she must have gotten away, or I don't know. Unless he has very long arms, but we'll see.
But like right now, I'm freaking messaging me. I'm scared to go downstairs to walk my dogs. I just walked in and I told him, you don't have a chance. And now all of a sudden, this is all happening.
What's his name?
Christian Tobechi Kurobin. So
Christian?
just like don't get me kicked out of my own
We
apartment.
just want to get him. We just want to.
I'm scared. I'm scared of him at this point. Would it be okay if you guys, if one of y'all,
He has belongings here.
would it be okay if we now talk to him? Because he is my attorney.
He has belongings here. I know, but he has belongings here. He has belongings in there. He has belongings in there with you, right? He has property. So he lost property in your apartment.
In my apartment, yes. And I paid $2,000 for it. Zero.
That's where it really backfired on her. They were like, does he have stuff? And then she was like going to complain, like, everywhere. His stuff's everywhere. It's such a mess. And then they were like, okay, so he lives there. What are we going to do?
Yes. So I will have, I really, I will happily, I don't care what happens, I just don't, I don't want to.
Courtney, let me ask you this: for how long has it been sleeping in the apartment with you?
At this apartment, I mean, we moved in together technically like 2 months ago. But
2 months ago.
It was my name.
Forget about whose name is it. That's not the question I'm asking. Okay, that's irrelevant. It really is. Okay, listen to me. Answer my questions, please. Does he have property in the room in the apartment with you? A lot of property, you said.
I love how this guy doesn't even care that her dad's on the phone. He's like, that's irrelevant. I do not care. I love that because, I mean, the phone is to scare him and it's not working.
Right.
Because he knows what he's saying is the right thing. He doesn't have anything to fear.
He's been with you here for about 2 months, right? Is he on and off, or is he staying with you?
For 2 months, every day.
Staying with you for 2 months here with you?
Except for last week, he was.
No, let me let you know something. He lives here. If that person lives in that apartment with you. Okay, we cannot trespass anybody that lives in this place. So we can by law we cannot do this.
I know. I understand, and that's why I said I'm just so frazzled. I can't.
The one you can answer is your dad. I don't know if you know state of Florida law, but that's the way it works.
No, I understand, and that's.
Pause it for one more moment here.
Why I said.
Because I think this is another important aspect of it. Courtney Clenney is a woman surrounded by male police officers.
Mm-mm.
I think this is another place the defense is going to go.
No.
She is scared. She's desperately looking for help, and these police officers don't want to help her. And you notice there's a little bit of back and forth. Either they don't like her, they don't trust her, they don't believe her, but that's the vibe that's coming through the video, right? And what they'll do is turn it from her perspective. She is scared of this man, and the police won't even help her. I can hear the closing argument already. She was asking for a restraining order. She was asking for help. And you saw, ladies and gentlemen, how the police acted. All she wanted was help. They didn't want to help her. And that's the way it's going to play in court. Like, will the jury buy it? I don't know. But it's going to be a completely different version of the relationship and what was happening in the hours and the moments leading up to when Courtney Clenney kills Christian.
So that really does remind me as well of like some of the things that Makenzie, Shirilla's dad, was saying in some of his early interviews about things he was claiming that Dom did, or I don't even remember the details, but that kind of disparaging the victim that he thinks, and he's probably right, that he thinks the defense is going to try. It's really so it's upsetting because I don't know. I mean, this is obvious, but when somebody isn't around to defend themselves, like, you can just say anything, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're totally gonna go for that she's didn't get help and she's, crying out for help. But what I see here in this video is I don't see fear and panic and being scared. And for a split second, she puts on a little act and she tries to hyperventilate like she's afraid. And then she goes right back into her aggressive, you're going to do what I say. You're going to listen to me. And then her dad starts talking on the phone. So I don't feel that she's scared from the video.
Yeah. And look, I get why Vinny's saying all of this, but it's a good point as well that you make there, is that it's interesting how quickly she like swings between these things, because she can cry, but then she's getting snappy like right afterwards. And I don't know if that's something to do with her or if she's struggling to maintain some kind of an act. I mean, it could be either, but it's really weird. It shows, it speaks a lot about her, I think, the way she's not necessarily that stable. And I agree with this, that she is trying to manipulate the police, and I think that she
Definitely.
And I think that she's used to being able to do that. Obviously she has a habit or a tendency of using at least her looks, and that's not, I don't think it's particularly working here. So she's like trying the authority of, well, my dad's my lawyer. That's not really working either. So maybe that's kind of frustrating for her. Like, she doesn't know what to bounce to next. Like, what do I do now? Because this usually works.
Point.
Yeah. Yes. She's trying everything.
Let's continue.
I said, can I get a restraining order and get there first?
Listen, my answer was, I already answered that. You got it. Just go to the court. Explain to them what happened. And you explain to them what you need. And if they grant it to you or not, it's on them. We have to see a judge at court. Those type of restraining orders are granted by a judge.
So what can I do to be safe now? For my 2 dogs and what can I do?
Okay, explain to me why you don't feel safe. Explain to me why you don't feel safe. Why is it that you don't feel safe with him? Has he threatened you? Was there any type of physical violence to you?
Yes. That's not really like my concern. It's just.
Yes, but that's not really like my concern.
So why ask for a restraining order if you're not concerned that he's being physically violent with you? To me, if I was a police officer, I would walk away. Like, you obviously don't want my help.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you heard. Yeah, but that's not really my concern.
Yeah. That's
What?
insane. Why are you
How is-
asking for a restraining order if you're not concerned about physical violence?
I mean, yeah, the restraining order doesn't prevent. That's what it's for. Like it's
She
like
just
missed
doesn't
one-
want him in the apartment. Just out of
Ah.
pettiness, it seems like. I told him he can't come
Yeah.
here and he's not listening, so you need to give him a restraining order so he'll do what I say.
Yeah, and I have a feeling, and this is not documented anywhere, but I have a feeling from her behavior here that they had an argument because they have a lot of those, and he said he wants to get a restraining order, and she was like, "Oh shit! Well, I better get ahead of that. I need to be first because I don't want it to look like his idea," and I really feel like that's what this is. That's really
Yeah.
what this is about.
Yeah.
Because her priority is not her safety, it's being first.
Yep.
Which is shocking.
They're stalking. My mom was here for a week time. She caught him in the little couch. Like I have like a couch in my living room, and it's like turned sideways. And he like was sleeping there, and she went outside, and she was like, "What's moving in there?" And she pulled it, and she was like,
Okay,
"Oh,
listen.
there's a kid."
You,
She goes,
you, you want this person to completely disappear from your
Yes.
life. At the same time, you have him in your apartment for 2 months with a ton of stuff in here.
But I know.
There's a process for this. You need
That's
the person needs to
understandable. As a woman.
gather their belongings. What is it saying? Does he want to leave?
Can I talk to you, sir?
Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow. Wow. Defense has a lot to work with there. A lot to work with. I mean, I don't know what it proves, but is it going to raise some doubts about exactly what prosecutors are saying about this relationship? Because prosecutors are going to say very clearly that there's a documented history that she is the violent one.
And there is. So I mean, what is your opinion? At the very least, I would say that it's, I don't know, mutually violent, but at the same time, she's been named as the aggressor very often. I know that there was eyewitness testimony of a neighbor who said he saw something through a window, but I mean, I don't even know what came of that. And we don't know what
Right.
preceded that behavior. So yeah, and I was gonna mention that as well, but I just didn't. I didn't, CJ. But I mean, honestly, yeah, that's like she's trying everything. She is not leaving anything to chance there. She's dressed the part, and she's got her dad on the phone. Like she's thought of everything. Anything that usually works, I think, and it's not working, and that's probably very irritating for her. I mean, what do I do now?
I'm sure.
Do I have to like go to the court and obey the law and stand in a queue and fill out a form? Like fill out a form with a pen and paper? So yeah, very annoying for her.
He is the abuser. Now, after watching that video, let's move to the next day. And this is absolutely shocking. It's graphic. It's tough to take a look at, but it's the reality of what happens the next day after Courtney Clenney stabs Christian Obenselli.
Oh, these people aren't there. These people aren't there. They need to open. They need to open. They open on the other side, bro.
Oh my God.
Stay down, man.
Just before we get into that, because that's quite an important, in-depth part of it. I mean, it's the crime scene. I wanted to read this. Legally guilty and factually innocent says, I watched someone who was the ex of one of my good friends act like Makenzie and Courtney. His ex used to take the medicine cabinet to her face to get him arrested. It's gross. That is awful.
Oh my
That is-
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And Kip Kitty, yeah, she has been, and we're gonna get into the behavior of her parents because they're involved too. This is a family affair. Well, okay, I should say allegedly involved because that was dropped. But they were allegedly involved in all of this as well after the crime. So definitely very entitled, and it doesn't make anything better that she was so financially successful at what she did. That just gave her all the more control and entitlement, which was, I think, probably already not a good situation beforehand. So recipe for absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're just getting to the part where the police are responding at the crime scene. Christian has been stabbed by this point. I don't know at what point he passed away. I don't know if it was instant or if it was at the hospital, but police did not tell. They withheld that information from Courtney. Whether they knew it or not, she wasn't told until quite a bit later. And she did like a production response, which some people say is genuine. I don't think so, but we're going to see it. So don't worry.
Kenny, I need you.
Wait, open. Keep this open. See if I can get these people.
They won't tell me where
Ranger.
Guys, please tell me what's going on.
Ranger.
Come on, like
I want that to me.
Everyone unit that's with the victim have been advised.
Christian Novenselli is still alive at this point.
I'm covered in these buckets.
I understand that.
And if I don't yell, then what will I do with my life?
No, these people are stuck in the elevator. You open the other side. Sit down, relax. Sit down, relax, okay?
Boys, come here. Boys, Jesse, come here. Just baby, sit down. He won't tell me if he's okay.
Listen, we don't know. We need rescues right here. We're trying to get them.
No. Jesse, come here, baby. Jesse, come here. Jesse, come on, baby. Come back. Come here, baby. Jesse, come here. Hey, baby, it's gonna be okay. Hey, come back. I might have to go to cops for a couple of days, but I'll be back home, okay? It'll be okay, baby. I promise I'll be okay, baby. Daddy will be back. What is his name? Christian Obumseli. Christian Obumseli. Please.
Listen, sit down. Do me a favor. Sit down. Do not
Why are
move.
you yelling at me?
Do not move.
Why are you yelling at me?
Do not move. Sit down.
Okay, boy.
It's bizarre. She's like, why are you yelling at me? That's not what matters right now. And I mean, the fact that look, I get that there can be chaos when there's a relative or somebody, or just a civilian on scene, but I don't think I've ever heard, why are you yelling at me? That's new.
Yeah, she's talking over everyone too, like trying to control the conversation right off the bat.
Yeah.
When they enter.
And I know that some people have made comments about how she's extremely worried about her dogs at that point. I think I would also be worried. Like, if there were people everywhere, I would be worried. Obviously, I'd be worried about the victim, but I would also not want the dogs to be terrified or to bite someone or run away. So I'm not going to comment on that. I would also.
Yeah, I have pets too, so yeah, my concern would be, along those lines also. But that's just natural when you're a pet owner. Like, there's so much other chaos that could happen, and you just don't want that on top of what's happening already.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one who says that then, because I was like, maybe I'm just strange, but I would really want to know that my dogs were okay too. So I'm glad.
Yeah, I agree.
No, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what happened.
I'm terrified.
So right now, don't worry. They're helping him. So just sit down. Don't move, okay?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh, he's right there. Just
Jesse,
sit down.
come here, baby.
Sit
Jesse,
down.
come here.
Relax.
Jesse, come here. I'm just trying to get my dog. Can you just bring my dog to me?
I need you to get out of the way.
Okay, let's move. Let's move more. Sit down.
Where do I go? Can I go inside?
Sit down.
Hey, just no, they won't bite. Just bring him out here. Hey, I'm asking you as a person. Can you please bring me out the dog?
Your dog is right there. Forget about the dog now. Don't worry. Forget about the dog.
But I'm covered in blood. It makes me look really bad. I was holding him the whole time.
I know. We're trying to see what's going on. Calm down, okay? Calm down.
I need him to be okay, please.
Okay, calm down. Calm down.
Okay, it's okay. Hey, baby, come on. It's all good.
She's your girlfriend, yeah. She's in handle right now.
Is it girlfriend?
That's me. That's me. I'm covered. And I was holding him the whole time. He was like, but
She does fluctuate quite a lot between like, is he okay? But then also, I'm covered in blood. And that's like a quote. That's what she keeps saying. I don't know so much what that is. I suspect just knowing her, it's like she's concerned about how that might look. But I also think that maybe it's to do with the fact that she is going to start saying that she was holding him the whole time. So she just wants to get that on record as early as possible. But it is, I find it a bit strange the way she keeps defaulting back to that. And I mean, she's not like, what is she expecting them to say? Like, yeah, you can go take a shower. Like, I don't understand why she keeps bringing it up. Other than maybe she just wants to clarify why. It's not from when I killed him, it's from when I was holding him afterwards, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to ask you if you feel this way too, but watching the prior video from the lobby of the day prior, and then this, she has this manic squirreliness all the time where she's just all over the place, like verbally and physically. And it's almost like it affects me just watching her. Like I get kind of like this anxious feeling just watching her be so squirrely everywhere. Have you noticed that?
I have noticed it, and I think, I mean, I don't know exactly what was going on with her at this point, but I know that she did, before she was arrested, she went to Hawaii for rehab, and I think she was arrested there or thereafter. And I don't know if that was an excuse, but oh, okay. yeah, it is indicative of the way she's behaving. It's strange, and I don't know if that's her personality as well. Like, just very, like, she just fluctuates. It's really weird, even in her thinking. And I know what you mean. It's like she's not even maintaining that thought to the end before she's just like onto something else.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's because she's like scrambling to get certain things on the record. Like, she has to like make sure that she asks if he's okay, but also explain that she's full of blood because she was holding him. Like, maybe it's the fact that there's so much going on and it's a little bit scripted. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, it is interesting though. And one of the main things that that is different between her and Makenzie Shirilla is that Makenzie is a lot more like calculated in a way. She's just like kind of lower, like she's stoic, I guess.
Yeah. There is a big difference in their personalities.
Yeah.
Can you give us any information?
absolutely.
Well, actually, maybe not their person. Sorry. Sometimes the idea comes to me a bit late. maybe not their personalities, but like their demeanor or just their, I think that their personalities are very
That's
similar.
what I was trying to say. Demeanor.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me that I didn't have the right word. I knew as soon as I said it, I was like, no, that's not it, but okay.
Yeah, because my brain was like, because there's this thing that, and this is the main reason I wanted to do this episode, is because I want to like really look into this preoccupation with themselves and social media and fame and image. And I'm not saying that that is going to cause you to kill your boyfriend. I'm not saying that at all, but I'm saying that there's definitely a lot of toxicity when that kind of personality is predisposed to do that, and then is in these kinds of situations where they can be afforded to be so self-centered. And I think that in that way their personalities are similar. Their responses are very different, but My opinion. Yeah.
Absolutely, I can.
I'll get this right here. Yeah. You know who it was?
Who it was?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it outside so we can get there. Okay, let's move over here so we have more space, okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, just sit down, relax.
Okay,
They're
that's
gonna take care of him. Your dog is right here.
Okay. Hey, boys, just sit down.
So what happened?
I don't even, I'm like, we had to talk. I love him like more than like.
Okay. So what happened today that we're here?
I really love that. Because I there's just like a hint of sarcasm in there where she's like, I love him more than life, and he's like, okay, so why are we here?
Yeah.
Really? That's not usually how it goes when you love someone so much, but okay, all right.
So I had broken up with him about a week ago. And then today again, like we just weren't getting along kind of, but like we're breaking up again.
So you guys trying to get back together?
Yes, absolutely. Because I want to marry him. I love him. I think that he could change. I can change whatever. And he just, I said, he started doing. He said he wouldn't do it again. I said, you know what? We're over. And I walked away, and he pinned me to the wall.
He pinned you against the wall.
He pinned me to the wall and then pinned me to the ground. And he was choking me. And so I got up and I called my mom, and I was talking to her.
So, one of the most important things that you can look for forensically when somebody's telling you a story is a gap in transition of events. So, if they say he pinned me to the wall and then he pinned me to the floor, but they completely leave out how you got from the one situation to the other, then that's kind of a point where if you've had some training, usually you're going to start probing that in between stage to find out, well, how did you get from being pinned to the wall to being pinned to the floor, and what is it about that information that you wanted to leave out, even though you're telling me that you wanted to marry him, which has nothing to do with what happened? Why is there a gap? I can't remember if the policeman, I mean, it's no matter if he doesn't say anything, but it stands out, at least to me, that there's just like how does that even happen? Wall and then floor. Like, you're not going to explain what happened. Did you try and run away? Did he get distracted? Like, what happened?
Right.
And then he started charging at me, and I just had it in my hand because I was like, turn, like, don't come
What
here.
do you have in your knife? Why do you have in your hand a knife?
Because I was scared.
I'm asking you, what do you have in your hand? A knife, okay.
And I called my mom. She's on the phone. She can say like what it was. I was scared, and there was just and he started charging me.
While all this is happening, she's on the phone with her mother. Her mother is an ear witness to what happened. On the other end of the phone, listening to all of this transpire. Important part of the case, important part of the evidence and the testimony that'll come from Courtney Clenney's mother about what she heard. And here Courtney Clenney is claiming self-defense out of the box. He was coming at me. I was scared. So if why are they back together the next day? Well, I love him. I want to marry him. Like, exactly what I'm talking about. This relationship that is so intense from one end to the other, but absolutely toxic, violent, and in this moment, fatal. Let's go back.
I just threw it to him. I was scared of him, but I started to scare him, and I just like, I don't know. I feel like
So you said he was choking you, and then
choking me. Got out. I called my mom because I was scared about that. And then we started fighting again, and he came at me, and I just like,
where was the knife?
in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. So you
But
went to the
I
kitchen.
don't care what happened. Just
Listen, right now they're attending. So
okay.
so how many times did you stab him?
I did not stab him once. I just threw it because I was scared.
You threw the knife.
Threw it.
You threw the knife.
Threw it from like across the room. I did not I was scared.
That is so bizarre. I threw it. Yeah. I mean, even the police officer, I think at that point is kind of like, what? Because he was pretty sure that it is what it looked like, which is that she stabbed him. Because
Yeah.
I don't know how you throw. I think that the autopsy kind of disproves that anyway because of the angle. But
Oh, really?
yes, Yes, it's a downward angle. But we'll see. We'll see in trial.
Right. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
No, that's not a body bag, is it?
Sit down. That's not a body bag. Sit down. Sit down.
Oh my God. Good. Listen to me. Sit down. Sit down.
Wow. Didn't stab him. She threw the knife. That's part of the defense here. He's charging at her and she throws the knife. I mean, there was a court hearing where the defense brought in this video of a knife thrower. Never seen anything like it before. I guess it possible that someone who's not a professional knife thrower could throw a knife and kill someone? That's what she's claiming.
Does anyone know about this knife thrower? What is that? Is it a sport?
Yeah, you see a lot of them at circuses. They'll have like a knife throwing act.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting to watch. It's scary to watch.
I can imagine. I'm just thinking, like, if OnlyFans doesn't work out for her, she can go to the circus.
Yeah. Right. Be a sideshow.
They said the actual trial. Yeah, I know it kept moving. Lost up. Yeah. So it was supposed to be in April, and now they're saying August. So fingers crossed for August, because Christian Urbancelli's family, I know that they did file something civil as well, but I haven't even checked the outcome of that, but I think that they have just waited long enough.
Yeah.
All right, we've got more of the video. And again, all of this is captured. This is important because it tells the story. But I will say this about Courtney Clenney. Like, she's claiming self-defense from the beginning here, that she's being choked, consistent with the day before, that she wanted a restraining order, that she was scared of him, that he's the aggressor. Let's take a look.
Okay? Don't move anymore. Stay there. I was here. I know. I got here. Okay? We've been the one helping him out.
Let me go.
That was not a body bag, is it?
No.
So that's how irritated he's getting. Like, I know you were trying to help him. I got here. I saw it. Well done. I saw it. You're okay. It's done. You can stop reminding me. And I just, again, coming back to the way the police relate to her, I just feel like they just look at her and they just know.
Okay, well then. We need somebody to go. We need somebody to go with. Give me 1 second.
Just have the front one.
We need somebody to go with rescue.
Oh my God.
Yeah, good.
Hey, how old is he? You got any?
He's 27. He turns 28 on April 12th.
George, it's only three of us. We don't only got to go with the rescue.
We'll get somebody.
I'm 4220. Thank you.
Hey, Tuber, you got a story?
Put in a call for ID and have TV twice.
I was gonna tell him. Raise TV.
Yeah, go ahead and open it up.
Okay, where's your ID?
Just like in one of my. Can I just like rinse off? Like I have so much blood in me.
So right now, okay, I understand. We're just trying to work this out. Right now, we can.
My passport should be in one of my purses.
Your passport.
Hold it there for 1 second. I hope you caught that. I have so much blood on my hands. That's the prosecution case. Yeah, the blood is on your hands. She wants to wash it up. She has no idea what is happening here. You've taken a knife, you've plunged it somehow, some way into your boyfriend's chest. He's holding on for life. They're trying to save him. And you want to get cleaned up because you got a little too much blood on you. And you're concerned about the dogs, by the way. Unreal, oblivious to the seriousness of what has just happened. Let's watch some more.
Just like go somewhere like covering my boyfriend's butt. Like
Right now, we're not moving from here.
okay. I mean, I don't even know if I'm leaving here, but I have to leave. I have to go wherever he is.
Okay,
I need to go to the hospital.
He's going to the hospital right now.
I need to go to the hospital.
Okay, we gotta.
I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah, okay, but right now we're conducting an investigation. Okay. Take it. See if you can get inside the purse. There's her ID. See if you can find the other ID. You want me to go? No, bueno, ya. Mira. We were just trying to get the IDs. An ID at least.
Where's your ID?
Inside a purse. Es un passport. Passport. Where's your purse? Man, where's your purse?
So there's a tan purse on the counter somewhere, and then there's a brown purse. Why am I in cuffs?
Because we're conducting an investigation. We're trying to determine. I don't know. We're trying to determine what happened. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, because I my whole house is a mess. I'd be able to find it.
That was kind of interesting. And I've watched this before, but it's kind of interesting to see how she sneaks questions in between other topics. Like she thinks that's going to make them less noticeable. Like in the middle of explaining where her two purses are, she'll just be like, "Why am I in cuffs?" Like that just popped into her head. But she's been looking for a good opportunity where he's a little distracted, and then she's going to just try and ask that. That's pretty manipulative.
Yeah.
Listen, we just got here. We don't know what happened. We're trying to determine what happened.
I've been really scared, and I mean, my mom, my dad,
Rubén, Ale, este es tuyo. If you got a question, no, we do the first. If you got a question, let me know. But mira, as a sergeant, just running with the V so they can.
He's already there. He's on cruise line with you.
What? What happened? You got a question? If we don't go on belief. We go on facts. I don't know you.
Well, you're gonna have to wake up. He needs to wake up to tell everybody.
Is there any camera inside? You guys have cameras inside?
No.
You guys don't have cameras?
No, we don't. I wish we did.
At what point? At no point when you talk to your mom, you never recorded.
No, I was on the phone. Hey, I feel like you didn't like me like today. Like, come on, like I really don't want to get in trouble for something.
She doesn't want to get in trouble for
I
this.
swear to God. I should have just stuck in.
¿Qué es que?
They won't tell me what happened.
27.
Hey, can I please talk to my mother? Can I please
It's
talk to my
27
mother?
route to trauma.
I was on the phone with her when it happened. Can I please talk to her? Sir, can I please talk? I was on the phone with her when it happened.
That's a dispatcher. You're never gonna talk to her anymore
Why?
because we're already here.
What do you mean you're not going to talk to her anymore?
You don't need to talk to the dispatcher.
So I can't,
You're gonna talk to us and to the detective.
like I'm going to jail?
I don't know. I'm telling you, you're gonna talk to the detective.
Oh my God.
We're gonna conduct an investigation.
She can't believe she could go to jail. Like it's not such a far-fetched idea, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't understand why she's demanding to talk to people just because they were on the phone with her when things happened. Like that's irrelevant right now because the cops are there now.
Exactly.
In my
but the
opinion,
thing-
but she's pushing it over and over.
Yeah, but it's because she's not thinking in terms of what's happening. She's thinking in terms of evidence already. She's already at that stage. So she's like skipped the whole will he even be okay part, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Again, not understanding what has just happened.
Just sit back there.
Pues, today I'm not going to keep this because I feel like I'm going to be helpful a little bit.
Do you wanna go? You got your dog next to you?
But I guess I could.
No, I can take the handcuff now. We don't know what happened, so we're trying to verify what happened.
That's his DJ set I bought him for his birthday. It's what?
Homicide, the one responding for TV.
Wait, is he dead? Is he dead?
Sit down.
Okay, no, I was down. He's scared.
Sit down.
He's not dead, is he?
We don't.
No, the thing is the hospital right now.
He's in the hospital, right?
I need to be at the hospital with him.
You're not going in.
Why?
Because we're conducting an investigation.
It was free. It was I was self-defense. I mean, my mom was on the phone.
Okay, well, listen, the detectives are coming. You're gonna talk to them, and then you're gonna explain.
But I'm gonna be covered in blood. I look crazy. I was holding him while he was spurting blood.
Yeah. So I guess that's just the real motive for constantly talking about how she's covered in blood. It's I don't want to look crazy.
Too late for that.
Yeah, she's not doing a very good job of not looking crazy at this point. Regardless of what she, whether she's covered in blood or not, she could be squeaky clean and she'd still look a little crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to stop the blood.
She demonstrates that she is very concerned about him, wants to go to the hospital, but oblivious to the fact that she's the one who put the knife in him. Like, these two things are not computing in her head. The question is, does it make it look like she loved him? Does it make her look like a victim? Or does it make her look like someone who's unhinged? And I think police are getting the vibe that she's unhinged, both the first day and the second day, right? The day before and the day of the killing. Now, she's going to the police station. She's got to be interviewed, right? Homicide detectives have to talk to her. So let's take a look at that video where she gets to tell her story in a more controlled environment. Let's take a look.
So let's start from the start. You guys just will take out your dogs to the park, right? And then what happens after that?
Like I said, a little bit blur. I was doing laundry and watching a Christina Randall, or listening to a Christina Randall video, and tried to call my mom. She didn't answer the first time. And then he came back with a Subway sandwich. Before he left, he recited exactly what I wanted. And I said, let me, I'll text what I want to you. And he said, I know what you want. I said, no, you don't. He recited it to me before he left. And he got it perfectly right.
She's crying about a sandwich, whoever can't hear. Sorry, because it's really muffled, I just want to let everyone know that she is crying about a sandwich.
And then he left, I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me to sing a bike first.
That's cool.
Yeah. He came back. And I said something about like, oh, are you gonna like reshare your location with me? Like, did you want to share it? And he said, yeah, I shared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, like when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Like, reshare it. And then he told, it kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something. And then he told me to reshare mine, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again. And I don't know what I was thinking, but just like something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be?
Okay.
Which pause it for 1 second. Here, I think we're getting to the genesis of the fight that day. It was about sharing each other's locations on an app on their phone. Again, that lack of trust. They break up, they make up. They break up, they make up. She kicks him out. She takes him back. They're unsharing their locations. And it seems like that is the fight that they're having that day about something so stupid.
I also find it weird that they have this like level of jealousy between them, but what she does for a living, I feel like discounts that. Like, you shouldn't be doing that for a living to begin with. Okay, I know. Okay, I don't know what people's opinion is about that. Let me say, it's just strange that it bothers either of them, but then that other, I suppose if it's hard to see it as something professional, but maybe they do have some boundary there. But for me, it's just crazy to think you can do that for a living, but then you don't trust each other when it comes to like your locations.
Yeah, I think the OnlyFans has something to do with the trust issues. I don't think psychologically that a lot of girls that do these OnlyFans, I think it starts to mess with their heads a little bit. in my opinion. I think it's not healthy, and especially if you're in a relationship, there's already, that's not supposed to be in a relationship to begin with. And then when you're in one and you're online doing these things with other people, there's going to be that trust that's shattered no matter how good you think your relationship is. There's always going to be that in the back of your mind, like, is this going to go further once the camera's off? And I think that fueled a lot of the issues in their relationship.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point and a good way to put it, because I was making a mess of trying to say that, but
I didn't think so.
I think that is a good point. Like, maybe it was actually a big contributor to the trust issues. Yeah, but it seems like everything about the relationship from every angle was just toxic.
But again, it's a toxic relationship, so everything gets amplified. Everything gets amplified. Let's continue to watch.
I love him, but like, maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe they'll just like hurt him because he was pressing me, and he ended up hitting me against the wall, and then. I mean, I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like they were looking at my neck, and I was like, I mean, I'm not saying choking me like, whatever. But I mean, he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. I could not breathe, and I don't think that he was trying to kill me, but I was scared, and all 3 times I have been scared. So yeah, I'm on the floor. Yeah, you good.
Okay, so back to that missing time, and I know I might be a little bit obsessed with it, but again, she's not even explaining how we go from the wall to the floor. Like, I really want to know what happened in there, because she's constantly leaving it out. I also want to point out the tense change. So she'll start off by telling the story as it happened in the past, but then she'll say things like, I'm on the floor, which generally is an indicator that there's a little bit of blurring of the truth, let me say.
Right.
Yeah. And was me up. I'm on the get my mom on the phone, and I'm just trying to remember. I got my mom on the phone, and I remember she was standing like against the couch. Like we were obviously it was a big deal at this point. So this happened like over by the door, and somehow it was like over in the living room. We were standing by the couch, facing toward the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, and then he just like I could see like all the whites in his eyes, and he was like coming at me. And so I grabbed one of these knives. My mom got me for Christmas. I grabbed one of them, and I was like, I swear to God, I swear to God. It was just like, I would be like, don't come anywhere closer to me. Because, earlier, I was having 2 others happen. I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. And it's very scary. And I just think, like, just like this kind of thing where I was saying, like, do you know if he's okay? If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might, like, this is different, I think. But if he's, like, choking me or, like, pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab a knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom, and he's coming at me like he's going to grab either the phone or like the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. Coming at me, and I threw it.
Okay, so what do you think of that story?
I don't believe the story she's spewing.
Yeah.
I really don't. There's something about it as she's telling it that just, it's like she's fishing for what to say next at some points.
Yeah, and she does do that a lot, especially with the way she asks questions. You can hear that she's not asking a straightforward question. She's like fishing for something else. So I think that is something that she tends to do. I don't actually even understand the story, let alone know what I think of how she got from one situation to the kitchen. Like, there's so many missing steps in there.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's so squirrely and disconnected that it's hard to really understand what what actually went on in that apartment if you're talking to her about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also the thing of the fact that her mom was on the phone, like that's coming up a lot. And I get that she's trying to say that there's an ear witness and everything, but if her mom were on the phone and she could hear this happening, would she be quiet? Would she just listen to this happening, or would she start screaming and say, "What are you doing to my daughter?" And would he continue with what he was doing, knowing that there's essentially someone else in the room in a way? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the same argument she used the day prior in the lobby, that there were witnesses or someone was on the phone with her and he's still coming at her.
Yeah.
He's always still coming at her with all these witnesses around.
Yeah. Yeah. And the day before she said that the physical violence is not what was bothering her. It was the stalking and how weird it is that he slept in a couch, which is very weird. I don't know why he wanted to do that.
Well, if he
But-
was locked, I could see her locking him out of the apartment, and maybe all of his things were in there. He literally had nowhere to go, so he just stayed outside of the apartment. Am I understanding it was a couch outside the apartment?
I think so.
Yeah. To me, that just says that she very rudely locked him out and all of his things out, and he just didn't have another choice, and he just slept there until the next morning and he could get back in the apartment.
Yeah. What I'm finding strange, and I'm not saying that I think that he was doing anything wrong with that. I just find it
Yeah.
strange that he was still trying to get into the apartment, and it does and look, this is something that I think has to be discussed, is that some of the behavior that we see or hear about from him, it's like you'll hear about it so often in the context of abused women that you don't necessarily connect that it's the same behavior when a man's being abused. And he was constantly returning to the situation that wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
And I guess there are a lot of ways in which he was broken down too, and we're going to hear some of the recordings and how just awful she was and the things that she said to him, let alone what she ended up ultimately doing to him. So I'm not like making fun of his behavior or anything like that.
Oh,
but
no, I didn't think you were at all. I was just trying to figure out why
Yeah.
would he have been out there, because I don't believe her side of the story.
yeah, and what I'm saying is that I would have slept on the couch, not in the couch. I just find that strange. Like, why are you in the couch? But yeah, and I also want to touch on this, is that she wanted him for protection and he wanted her for, yeah. And that's like when we started off the show, that was one thing that I pointed out as a major difference in Makenzie Shirilla's case and Courtney Clenney's case, is that what we have here with Courtney Clenney, which is all the more dangerous, is we have the power of being that breadwinner, as well as being everything we just saw, like not quite nice up here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, so there's an added layer of power to it. And we're gonna talk about Makenzie Shirilla now as well, but that's I think is the fundamental difference, is what's being said here. And we've heard Dom's sister talk about how Dom was a lot to do with Makenzie's image. And yes, it was financial and stuff like that, but it was part of that persona that she had built up. And I think that by saying here that she wanted him for protection, that's also part of it. And I think that it was, for both of them, it had a lot to do with just like image, just like how it would look if the relationship ended. Sorry. I think there's a couple minutes There's a little bit left of the video. Let's see what Vinny has to say. I kept forgetting he was there. I thought we were, in my mind, I thought we were watching the actual interview, and then Vinny would be like, oh, and I'm like, who's that? So I feel bad, and I'm going to let him finish what he wanted to say now.
How exactly did she throw it? She's describing holding it like this, and then she threw it like that. How did that do it? And by the way, throwing it versus actually stabbing him is probably better for self-defense, because then he's right there. If he's charging at you, you stab him. But in her mind, she's minimizing, which makes me question whether or not she's telling the truth about what really happened that day.
And I'm pausing because that's the word I've been looking for, minimizing. This whole thing where she's like, yeah, no, I mean, there was some violence, but that wasn't my major concern. And, you know, it's not, we were back together, that's all great, I want to marry him. Like, everything was minimized. And she thinks that having thrown the knife looks better. And he's quite right, it doesn't. It doesn't, because it's so ridiculous that when it comes to the case of Makenzie Shirilla, it kind of makes me understand why she wanted to just take the approach of, I really don't remember, because you can't get tripped up as easily when just nothing makes sense. So while that's a terrible idea to say, I just don't remember, because it makes you look guilty, you're going to look equally guilty when you're just talking absolute nonsense, like you threw the knife. Like, you know.
Trying to minimize what she did. I just threw it. Like, how do you even throw it? That doesn't make sense. And it doesn't help self-defense. Self-defense is better if you stab him, you're holding it, don't come any closer, and then he gets too close, and then he's on me, he's got his arms on me, then I got to use the knife. But it's the minimization, from my perspective, that undermines her credibility in telling the story. So it's not up to me to decide, though. It'll be up to the jury to figure out if she's telling the truth or if it's a reasonable alternative explanation for what happened. Maybe maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, but we could see it happening. That could be enough for reasonable doubt, and that could send Courtney Clenney home.
Okay. Honestly, I disagree with him, but I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. Let me know what you think as well. I think that there is a pretty good case. I think that the prosecution has a good case. What do you think? Oh, is there an audio issue? You're not muted, but maybe the microphone disconnected or something. Yeah, I think so.
How about now?
There we go. There you are.
Yeah, I had myself muted on it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
No, but the whole knife throwing in itself, if you're that scared and someone's coming at you, you're not going to throw them a weapon to then use against you. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I don't see this being a very hard case to try.
Yeah, that's an amazing point that I did not think about at all. Like, you're giving him a weapon. So, I mean, that would be like case closed. Like,
yeah,
you're not going to do that. But I am going to share the screen for the next thing. I made a little presentation, and it doesn't look nice when I share it, because I can't quite find the right scene with which to share it. So I'm letting you all know in advance that I'm sorry. But we will see. I was supposed to use a specific watermark screen, but it wasn't working with this presentation. Luckily, it's only 2 pages. All right. I hope you can see that. Okay, so I made just a timeline, and the fact that the timeline is on the same page, I need to clarify that these cases are not in any way, shape, or form connected in what happened. They just, the time frame is close enough that I can put them on the same timeline, and I just did. So I'm not alleging in any way that the actual perpetrators have anything to do with each other. Okay. So as we've seen, and this is going to be a quick recap, on the 3rd of April 2022, Christian Obenseli got into an argument over phone location sharing. Clenney phones her mother, Deborah Clenney, who claims she heard screaming during the phone call. Again, she doesn't say what she was doing. Was she screaming? Was she just listening? At some later point, Clenney calls 911 to report that Obenseli had been stabbed. And Obenseli is heard in the background saying that he is dying, and he does later pass away. And then she was arrested on the 10th of August. Once again, unrelated, 31 July 2022, Makenzie, Shirilla, Dominic Russo, and Davian Flanagan depart a friend's house at 5:30 a.m., and by 5:36 a.m., Shirilla accelerates her vehicle to 100 miles per hour and deliberately drives into a wall, and Russo and Flanagan are dead on impact. And she was arrested on the 4th of November 2022. So, and I said that at the end of this, you're going to tell me if you guys agree that there's a lot of similarities between these cases, or at least between the perpetrators. So both cases are centered around highly toxic and or violent relationships that resulted in the death of the male partner. Both perpetrators provided absurd explanations for their boyfriend's so-called accidental death. So one said POTS, and the other one pointed to spontaneous expert knife throwing skills. That's how I worded it. Both perpetrators and victims were in or aspiring to be in similar lines of work. So we have two social media influencers, girls who are very preoccupied with modeling, that kind of thing, in a relationship with guys who are doing trading or crypto or whatever they were both doing. I don't know how similar it was, but similar line of work. Both self-absorbed, image-obsessed perpetrators preoccupied with social media fame, and modeling. Both victims secretly recorded verbally abusive and unstable behavior of perpetrators prior to the incident. And we're going to look at that shortly. And when I say here damage control efforts prior to the incident, I'm talking about the texts that Makenzie sent to Dom's mother, where she said that he was trying to end her life, as well as Clenney trying to get this restraining order the day before she killed Christian. Very interesting to me as well is preceding substance abuse issues, and my favorite is parental issues and absent accountability in both cases. So I'm going to clarify that one a little bit, where I know that we've seen a lot about Mackenzie's parents, especially her dad. We've watched the interviews. Every single time we're like, why are you still trying? You're making things worse. You shouldn't be involved. And if you think that they were involved, you don't know Courtney Clenney's parents, because again, this was thrown out. It was like they didn't proceed with the case, but they were arrested for tampering with Christian Obenseli's laptop. I don't know what the exact charge was, if it was tampering, but unfortunately it was found that prosecutors violated attorney-client privilege when they brought this information to light, and it was thrown out. But what I thought was really interesting was that over-involvement by both parents. Like, it kind of reminded me of the victim impact statements for Makenzie Shirilla's case, where Makenzie Shirilla's mother showed up and forgot to give a victim impact statement. She just gave a statement where she was like, and she kept saying okay at the end of her sentences, like she was trying, like she actually thought that she could get in there and control the outcome of this. And it's like, it's not even your job to, like, why are you involved? So I felt that quite strongly with the allegations of her parents, Courtney Clenney's parents, getting involved. If they really were tampering with his laptop, that's a level of over-involved parenting that I don't even know.
Yeah. That's questionable. That's interesting they were doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think in both cases, there's been like this history of just unaccountability from, from both perpetrators when it comes to their upbringing and stuff like that. And I don't know what you think. I find this thing about the self-absorbedness very interesting to how they behave afterwards, where they're kind of there's just no sign of accountability. And I know that Courtney Clenney hasn't actually had a trial yet, so I don't know if I, am jumping ahead on this, but she was in court recently for a hearing where she was like making faces at the cameras and sticking her tongue out and stuff like that. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Really? In court? Like, that's just not a smart idea.
mm-mm. No,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, and it's like I don't know, it gives me the same feeling of how Makenzie Shirilla was in the hospital trying to get modeling contracts. Like it's just not
Mm-hmm.
serious. It's not serious
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not able to quite understand their own behavior and actions and consequences. Like, just doesn't connect.
Yeah. Yeah. It is an interesting point. But what I found like the most interesting is the similarities in the victims, both recording things prior to the actual incident of their death. uh, like I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, but I think that at least on a subconscious level, it's that kind of knowing, like
Mm-hmm.
something's about to go wrong, and I need to be able to record it.
Yeah, that does say a lot that both of them felt the need that, hey, I need to get this recorded. I might need it one day. That does say
Yeah,
a lot about the relationship and how they felt inside that relationship. And that's sad that you don't hear a lot about this happening to men, and men just don't speak out about it. They're raised to be strong, and you know so it's really sad that both these men lost their lives in a relationship that they felt they even need a recording to record their fear. And yet, if they maybe had said something to someone, it could have been a different outcome.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, I mean, do you think, I know that a lot of people are made up their mind on both cases, that it was
Mhm.
very intentional and it was very planned. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on that for these cases?
Very, very intentional. And I apologize if you can hear my cat.
That is
uh,
fine.
yeah, I think it's very intentional on both their parts. And you see just, neither one of them really understanding what they had just done, what the consequences were. They're trying to talk their way out of it. They're involving other people to get their way out of it. And that's obvious when you see people do that. And, I wanted to ask you, Mackenzie was still pretty young when her crash happened. Um, this girl's older, but Mackenzie was more self-controlled. She had more control over her actions, it seemed like. And things that she would do were more purposeful. Whereas Courtney just seems to, she kind of reacts and then tries to make sense of it and talk her way through it after the fact.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she had very good control over that situation with her boyfriend, and the knife throwing and all these discombobulated stories about what happened. But if that it if it was Mackenzie, I feel like we would have gotten a more controlled story out of it. Which
Yeah.
my question for you is, if Mackenzie wasn't in jail right now and the crash hadn't happened, as she got older, do you think that she would have been more of a Courtney Clenney with, the OnlyFans causing more volatile problems in the relationship. And Dom may have still met the same fate, just in a different way.
So my opinion on Makenzie has changed a little bit since we first started discussing the case. That being said, I do think that as she would have progressed into adulthood and kind of gotten into that habit of getting her way more, I do think that she would have actually progressed into a Courtney Clenney, especially if the abuse of substances, grew along with her, because I think that is also quite a big part of what happened to Courtney. Courtney started in fitness. She started off on Instagram. And it escalated into that new career, and I do believe that's where Makenzie was heading.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when it comes to whether things were planned with Makenzie, okay. I have a friend who was in a very difficult relationship as well. And it was similar to these kinds of relationships in the sense that she was with somebody who was very volatile and unpredictable. And one of the main things that I know he would do to kind of get her under control, in a sense, when they were arguing, was he would speed. So he would drive really fast, he would drive erratically, and he would push that boundary until she apologized to him, basically. And that was like a frequently used method of control that was how he did it. And when I rewatched the recording that Dom made of Makenzie when she was like stuck outside the house and threatening to get back in, and she was saying, I'm going to count to 10 and then the door's going to open. In my mind, I saw that situation in a car where it was, I'm going to go faster. You need to do what I'm saying, right? It's going to happen. And I can see that ending in an accidental crash. And I know I might get thrown off panel right now because the whole time I've been like, no, she planned this. She planned this. But when I listened to that recording, I don't think that she's any less culpable than I used to. I think that she got what she deserved for what she did. But I can hear that. I can hear that situation of, I'm not happy with what you're doing, and I'm going to keep hitting the pedal until you comply.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that you can take that to a point where you're going to literally hit a wall. Like, there's no way to stop it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I mean, I might change my mind back to this was all planned. With Courtney, I think it was planned. I think that unfortunately, I think she just lost control and came up with that and decided to think about what she was going to say afterwards. Unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think it was intentional. I don't believe the whole circus act with the knife throwing. That's kind of, I mean, when's the last time you heard something like that anyway? But yeah, she's not very good at, like you said, with, the gaps in the story about, I was up against the wall, then I was on the floor. Well, I've been held up against the wall and then thrown on the floor. And I know exactly how I went from being on the wall to on the floor. And, when I'm telling that to authorities, I'm telling them, this is how he ended up transitioning me to the floor. And with her, it's just like, oh, I remember I was in this position. And then at some point I was in this position and I don't know. And I'm not worried about physical violence. I don't believe the story. It's not a victim story.
It's not at all. And it's infuriating because, neither Dom nor Christian are in any way able to defend themselves. And it's not only abuse of a partner, it's abuse of that stereotype where you can just say that you're an abused woman when that's not something that's supposed to just like be utilized at convenience.
That's a very serious allegation, and it's a very difficult thing to live through, and to just throw it around as an excuse it's horrible, and that impacts real victims, because eventually when people do try to speak out when those things are happening, they're just not believed because it's used so often.
When it comes to these two cases, that's something that bothers me the most, is the defaulting to that kind of excuse. Oh, sorry for taking so long with this.
So has his parents come out to speak up against Courtney?
Yes, they have. I think I know that they're part of. I know that there is some kind of civil action, and I don't know what the outcome was of that, but I did want to look at that in another episode to see if there's any more information that we can gather about what happened and the evidence before this goes to trial. But they are quite understandably very, very, very heartbroken.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. That's the wrong video. Sorry.
As a result.
Okay. I have a duty to apologize to anyone in headphones right now. Turn it down a bit. Please. Please. All right. So these are, well, some of this is audio from the recordings that Christian Obenseli made. I think this was, I'm not sure how soon this was. I mean, how early. No, I don't know when this was in relation to his eventual death, but it couldn't have been too much later. Let me just get the title for you. And as I said, if you are in headphones, please be careful, because she likes to scream, it seems.
Of course she does.
We expect nothing less from you, Courtney.
Get off of me! You literally talked to her without telling me! Just months before she stabbed her boyfriend, OnlyFans model Courtney Clenney called him a string of racial slurs.
Yes, thank you. Come, thank you.
The newly released and disturbing audio was recorded by Christian Obenseli, who was later stabbed by Clenney and died as a result of his injuries.
I am so sorry.
So shut up, let me slap you. The recording captures an argument between the couple about someone Obenseli ran into while on a bike ride. Get off of me! You literally talked to her without telling me!
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said hi. You and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a.
The audio of this argument was recorded just months before Obenseli was stabbed on April 3rd.
I'm so sorry.
In Clenney's 911 call, Obenseli can be heard saying he can't feel his arm and believes he's going to die.
I can't feel my arm. 3101. I can't feel my arm.
4 months after Obenseli died, Clenney was charged with second-degree murder in his death. Since then, body camera video of a separate domestic incident was released. It took place just days before Obenseli's death. At the time, Clenney told officers she wanted a restraining order against him.
All right, so what do you want to say?
I want to be like, I want to be like exonerated, I guess, of like anything wrong. And I want him, okay, the police are here. I want a restraining order against Christian Obenseli.
I don't issue those.
Because, no, I'm serious. Can I do that? Where can I
go to court. You have to go to
okay,
downtown.
how can I make myself first? Because I know him and you would do it. How can I make myself first? You gotta
Clenney maintains she stabbed Obumseli out of self-defense. Her attorney says the body camera video shows she was seeking help from a, quote, abusive and violent relationship, but that she was failed by the system. Prosecutors say the pair were involved in a combative relationship, but that Obumseli was the victim of domestic abuse. For the latest developments in this story and all things true crime, stay with Long Crime Network. I'm Sierra Gillespie.
Okay, so that was his recording. And last thing I'm gonna do is just play the recording from Makenzie Shirilla's case.
Before you play that, was there a part, I want to know if I heard this right, in his recording where she's screaming at him to be still so she can slap him?
Yes, that is what she said. She told him to keep still so that she could slap him.
Okay, I thought that's what I heard.
Yeah, it is. That's what you heard.
That's wow.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what
That's a
to
new
say
one.
about that when I heard it. Like yeah. I hope they don't play that in court. That's not going to go well for her.
Mm-mm. All right, this is, a lot of you guys will be familiar with this recording from The Crash, the documentary. If I can get it to work. Is anyone else not getting audio from this? Did I do it wrong? Please let me know. No sound. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought I had muted myself or pulled my headphones out again, but no.
No, I got to 2 minutes and 10 seconds. No audio.
Dead silence.
Sorry. Well,
replay.
Little bit of music playing. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to share the screen again. This does happen a lot when you try and play videos through StreamYard. It's StreamYard's special talent. Okay. Do over. There will be sound this time. Sorry, everyone.
Dom, if
You do not open. Like you think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. You think I'm joking. Like I'm dead ass.
What? What are you dead ass about?
Okay, I'm gonna give you one last chance to open the door.
Kenzie, I can't open the door. I can't sit here and fight. We gotta go to dinner. If I can see my grandparents, like I can't
You're
sit.
not going to dinner if you don't open the door. I'm gonna let you know that right now.
And then what? What would happen? What are you trying to say?
I just told you what happened. You're not coming to dinner. You're not going to dinner.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You know it. That's exactly what I mean. You don't even know exactly what I mean. You're gonna come open this door right now, or there's gonna be a serious fucking problem.
I can't. No, like you can't keep fighting. You can't keep making all these threats. Like I can't
And
open the
you
door.
can't keep kicking me out of a place that you say is my home.
Kenzie, I didn't kick you out. You took all your shit and dipped. And said we were done. Like,
I did not say we are done. Dom? Okay, ready? I'm going to count to 10. The door's going to open, okay? You're going to open the door and stop hiding behind the door like a little fucking bitch. Ready? 1, 2, 3,
Kenzie, I can't open the door.
4. Okay, I'm going to break something, man.
Why would you break something? Why? What are you trying to break?
Okay, open the door.
What are you trying to break?
Open the door.
No, I'm not opening the door.
Dom, I'm going to give you, if this phone call hits 5 minutes, we're breaking up.
Kenzie, I can't do this shit right now. You can't sit here and fight like.
Okay, well, you're not going to dinner.
Okay, well, step away from the door. Maybe I can come outside and talk for a second.
No, we're not fighting outside. You're going to open the door right now.
Why are we fighting outside?
1 minute now, actually.
Look, wait, now my mom's trying to call me. Like, I got.
No, if you hang up on me, we're done. I'm leaving.
Kenzie, there's nothing I could do. Like, I can't.
There is. Stop being a little bitch and
I
open
can't
the
let
door.
you in my house with how you're acting. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, there's no way. There's no way I should. Like,
I'm just going to break the handle off.
huh?
I'm just going to break the handle off. It's already moving.
Fucking break the lock. Like, you really gonna break into my house?
Yes, I will. I will break into my house. You're right. I will break into it.
It's not your house. It's my house.
It is. Dom, now open the door. Now open the door. You have 30 seconds left on the phone call to open the door. We're done.
Kenzie, I really don't think I can.
If
I don't think.
you can't open the door, then you can't be in a relationship with me.
Kenzie, you're threatening to break shit out. You're like, oh, I'm gonna break the glass and shit. Like, you're threatening crazy shit like that.
You have 10 seconds to open this door, or we are broken up.
Kenzie, I really don't think I can. Like, why can't we just do this shit? Like, why can't we
We're
just do
not
this
doing
later?
it later because I'm coming to dinner. You have 5 seconds to open the
What,
door.
you want to come to dinner with us? You want to come to dinner with us? Is that what you're saying?
Open the door right now.
You can come to dinner with us if you want.
Open the door.
Kenzie, if you want, you can come to dinner with us.
Tom, if you don't open the door, I'm keying your car.
Why the fuck would you key my... Why? Are you...
Okay, you have 30 seconds, or I'm going to do it.
Kenzie, do not key my car. Do not do anything to my car. I need to call my mom back, babe.
All right, is the door unlocked? I'm about to test it.
No, Kenzie, it's not unlocked. Like, why are you acting like this?
Dom, I'm gonna give you one last second, or I'm gonna have to key your car.
Why would that ever be like an option?
We're broken up if you don't let me in the house. I'm breaking up. I will break up with you. I'm going to break up with you if you do not open this fucking door.
You literally took all your shit and left. I thought like you didn't want to be here.
Okay, I'm gonna break into your house then.
Dude, what the actual fuck?
Well, I just broke your fucking key thing, so that sucks.
What key thing?
I don't know. You're gonna have to open the door to see it, because that's where it's fucked up from the outside. You fucking dick.
Okay.
Now open the door.
No. Like you're not. Like you're like saying you're breaking shit and stuff. Like you're not coming in my house.
I will break shit. I will break shit. Do I have to like call the police?
Why? Why would you call the
Do I have
police?
to call the police? Are you not gonna let me into my house?
This is not your house. I'm calling my mom. I'm calling my mom.
No, you're not. No,
Yes,
you're
I
not.
am. I'm calling you. You're not doing this.
Then we're gonna break up. Then
This
we're
is
done.
my house. You
Then
don't.
we are done. If you do not let me in the house that I sleep in every night, we are done.
Kenzie, I can't
If
let
this
you in the
phone
house.
call hits 10 minutes and I'm not in the house, then we're done.
No, Kenzie. No, Kenzie. I'm calling my mom. Goodbye.
No, you're not.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I just realized that the screen share there might have given a double audio for the background music. I'm really sorry if that happened. Just let me know if everything was clear and if you could hear that. It's a little complicated to play videos directly, but I found that pretty interesting just because I hadn't seen like the whole clip, like the whole thing in its entirety. And when that was what I was saying earlier, like when I watched that and I tried to imagine that in a car, I kind of got that feeling where she could, use that threat of, like if you have 30 more seconds, or I'm going to count to 10, or if this call gets to 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and I can see her saying, I'm going to go faster, I'm going to go faster, I'm going to go faster, and eventually it just getting too fast. So that kind of did kind of change my mind a little bit on whether she actually meant to hit the wall. And that's not me trying to excuse anything at all, but I think that she was probably running out of ways to control him, like saying we're going to be broken up if you don't do this and this. Like, what exactly is to stop him from saying, what a good idea, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. So I do think it's possible that she was trying to terrify him. Yeah,
Definitely. I can tell for everyone listening, if you've never been in a relationship like that, the less control you give them when you're just done and tired of being manipulated, the more violent they become, almost in like a panic, because they're trying to regain that control and they're not able to. And that's how things end up getting so dangerous for people in relationships like that. And, to hear her say that, she's got this right to destroy his property because she says so and she's not getting her way, is very frustrating. And it's very hard to fight somebody who's has that mentality, because there's nothing you can say or do to stop them, because in their mind they're always right and you owe them. And they were so young to be in such a toxic relationship like that. And I couldn't imagine Dom. I felt for him in that video. I really did. He was so calm. He even was, oh, you can come to dinner with us, it's okay, and nothing was working. Like even the calmness wasn't registering with her that, I'm the only one being violent here.
Yeah. And that's a really good point, because when when she was saying we're broken up if you don't do this and we're
Mhm.
going to be over and stuff like that, I feel like if he had moved on to, okay, we're broken up, it's fine, I feel like that would have pushed her over into what we heard with Courtney Clenney's recording, where it just turned into, I mean, she was already starting to get quite insulting in that recording there. And I feel like if all else fails, she was probably going to start ramping it up. And I feel like that's a situation where if Dom weren't as calm, it could have really turned violent. I think that she would have probably lost control, maybe in a way similar
Mhm.
to what Courtney did in those recordings. So
Mhm.
it like I understand what you're saying. It speaks to the composure of Dom. And I think that in the case of Courtney Clenney with the recording, I think that for her to turn it racial on Christian is something that he couldn't take anymore. And that's when he did start shouting back. But still all the more like much more calmer than her.
Yeah, you can push someone so far that they react in like an outward a way that makes them look like they're part of the problem, and it's
Yeah.
not. It's that reactive, state that you're in because you've just been pushed so far. And name calling, people don't realize it, but when it's a constant thing and it's used just in a vile way to insult you and make you feel bad, it you can only do that for so long, and then you start biting back, and then the aggressor can use that and they turn that against you, and now all of a sudden you're the aggressor and they're the victim, when in reality you've just pushed them to a point that they can't tolerate it anymore, and they lash out. And
And
I
it's
see that in the Courtney case with her boyfriend, like you said in that conversation where he had just had enough. But the difference in his voice when his voice was raised, there wasn't that edge that hers has.
yeah. And it's really interesting that you bring that up because um these recordings that Christian Obumseli took of Courtney are not going to be in evidence. They have been ruled out because um I guess she wasn't aware that she was being recorded and she has some kind of an entitlement to privacy. So they're only going to be using stuff that was in a public space. So like the video from the elevator. And another thing that the defense is now alleging is they're trying to take all of that insight that you just put out so well and they're trying to flip it by saying that he was trying to blackmail her essentially, or that he was over controlling in the sense that he was recording her like that. So it's amazing how him trying to preserve that evidence is just being turned around like that. And that is something that upsets me so much because with both of these men, the act of saying, I don't know what I'm going to do for beyond this. I think I'm going to record this. This is my way of at least starting to think about fighting back. And for a Christian, it's undermined completely because they're not even going to introduce one of his last attempts to, in a sense, defend himself. So it's terrible. It's so terrible. And I feel for both of them in those recordings. I do. And I think, look, they have the victims have very different personalities. They're responding very differently, but there's something so heartbreaking to me about that act of them both wanting to just record the way they're being spoken to. It just, yeah, I don't know. That's something that got to me the most was they both made recordings.
Yeah, and this is another example of the system failing people in these situations because that video was recorded inside the home, which is where most of this stuff happens, where people don't see and why
Yeah.
people aren't believed. And to tell a victim, the one place that this happens, the one place that we know we can see what you're really going through, we are going to discount it. It's not important enough. What you went through inside your home is not important enough. And that, I think this is a prime example of the system that needs to be changed, because that's where this stuff happens, is behind closed doors. And that video should be in court for everyone to see. And I hope somebody fights that. I doubt they will, but I don't really care about Courtney's privacy. I don't care about that. She told this guy to sit still so she could hit him. And the court is going to tell his family, we're not going to use that. It's not. It's nothing. I don't, like you said, that's so upsetting.
Yeah.
To hear that happen.
It is. And I mean, I'm baffled by it, because at the end of the day, she killed him in the privacy of her own home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're investigating that. So what about the events in the privacy of her own home that led up to that event in the privacy of her own home? Like, it feels to me like some kind of double standard. But
yeah,
I mean, it's gone through a court system that is much smarter than me, so I'm not going to argue.
We like to hope it is, but sometimes you wonder.
Yeah. Legally guilty, factually innocent says, yeah, the reason why, and Christian's case, is not allowed to be used as that Florida is a two-party state. Ohio, on the other hand, yeah, and I'll say this every single time. You're gonna get tired of it. I don't come from a country where we have states, and I forget, I forget how it works. Like, if something happens in South Africa, it's the whole thing, the whole of South Africa. That's how it works. So. Thank you for reminding me of that. And basically that means that in a two-party state, two people must consent to the recording, and in Ohio, you don't need the second party's consent. It still just feels wrong. I mean, I get it. There's different laws, but he was trying to leave something behind to help.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing I'm gonna ask you before I end the show is, I said, are you going to see similarities as well, or are you going to think I'm crazy? It's all in my head. I think that the cases are extremely similar. I find the parental involvement and meddling very interesting, and the recordings. But of course, there's notable differences too. What do you think?
Oh, I think they're very similar. I can see if Makenzie had not been in jail, I could see her as she got older being just like Courtney. And I think, unfortunately, something bad would have ended up happening to Dom regardless. There's a lot of similarities in their entitlement, in the way they believe they're owed and deserved to be allowed to behave a certain way. Just totally disconnected from what they're doing to other people. And, I don't think Courtney believes that she did anything wrong. And even if the evidence was put right in front of her, just like with Makenzie, she's going to deny. She's going to come up with reasons. She's going to have parents that are going to spin tales and help her with her innocence. And yeah, they're so similar. I think, Makenzie was young, but given time, we would have been watching this exact same story, only with Makenzie.
Time and more substances, I think, which is probably where that situation was also going. And I mean, I don't want to make it sound like I think that social media and social media fame is an issue, and that, it's not something that people should be involved in at a young age. But I do find it interesting that, I mean, there's some countries that are putting an age restriction on social media, almost as in the sense that it shouldn't be an influence too early. It can affect how you develop. And I'm kind of wondering about the role of that, if you already come from a background at home where you're overindulged by your parents, and then you move on to social media, which, I mean, nothing against social media, but it can be quite a self-centered thing. What does that do for a young person in their mind that's still developing, and like their socialization, where it's just continuing into this thing of everything's about me the whole time, and look at all of the social reward that I'm getting nonstop. It has to, in my mind, it has to feed into the idea of I can just have and do whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there needs to be age limits on social media. I think before a certain age, I think it's very damaging. There's so much out there that makes, everyone has their own issues with themselves as they grow up, but social media, it just seems like it's so much worse, and all of your little flaws are magnified, and you have to look this way and you have to be this way, and if you're not those things for a child growing up, you're going to grow up feeling inadequate for the rest of your life. And it's just because someone on a screen on your phone told you, you're not supposed to look this way, and you're supposed to talk this way, and you're supposed to have this much money, and you're only supposed to drive this car, otherwise you're not worth anything. And I think that's detrimental, like you said, to the developing mind, especially in young girls. And you end up with, videos of people like Makenzie just rambling on and saying every nasty thing she can think of on video. And that's who little girls are looking up to and wanting to be like. And that's horrible.
Yeah, and I think that it really does glamorize this toxicity. Like, it's not necessarily all toxic, this kind of behavior. And some of the things that, like Makenzie on social media saying that she's the one who can use a lot of substances and not pass away. Like,
yeah,
when did it become okay to say that?
That's not cute and cool and funny. That's psycho. It's like, how do you know you can take that much and not die? Like, or is this something you do for fun to find out? Like, that's not a cool, inspirational thing to say.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. And lastly, I think it kind of normalizes this thing of blurring things to make them appear a certain way. It's very not straightforward. Like, it gets you into this habit of masking things, of editing pictures, of changing the angles, of spending so much time choosing a picture. And at the end of the day, I'm not saying it's dishonest fundamentally. I'm saying that it's this like preoccupation with appearance as opposed to the actual reality of how something is. Where, you can't just put up a picture where you just look like you. Like,
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's pretty dangerous as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's the OnlyFans side of it. And I won't jump on my soapbox, but
no, you can if you want to.
I just don't think that it's not for everyone. And if she made the comment in her interrogation that it, at the police station, that, well, it pays the bills. And that's so heartbreaking that a woman feels that she has to sell herself like that to make ends meet. And maybe that's true, maybe it's not. But I don't think that people can do that for very long and it not really affect their mental state, because they're getting paid, yes, but they're getting paid to let other people manipulate them in a very intimate, private way, and it's on camera, and eventually that's just going to have a negative effect on you. And I don't know how much of that played into Courtney's volatile, I know it had a lot to do with the jealousy. That's just a given. You can't have relationships with that in it and not have issues. But yeah, the OnlyFans social media is a big issue for me, for women. I don't think it's healthy.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you bring that up in the interrogation because it wasn't in anything that we played today, but and maybe we'll look at it next week. But in the full interrogation, when the officer asks her what she does for a living, and she tries to euphemize it by saying social media, and he probes it and
Mm-hmm.
says what, like Instagram or something. She says, "No, I do OnlyFans," and then he straightforward asks her, "Okay, so you're an adult in the adult industry?" Like, the way he worded it was a little different,
Yeah.
and she said yes. And then there was a bit of a pause, and she said, "Well, it pays the bills." From that point onward, her attitude with him was quite different. She was much more irritable once he had like probed that a little and just straightforward asked her. So
Mm-hmm.
while on social media she can do the whole thing where there's no shame, this is just what I do. There was shame in that interview when
Mm-hmm.
the policeman asked her.
Yeah.
She was embarrassed. She can pretend she wasn't, but she did not actually want to have to say what she does for a living. And that
Yeah.
must be a very difficult position to be in because, I mean, it's what you do for a living.
Yeah, and she's pretty much trapped in it. And she's got that $12,000 apartment she's paying for it. And once you get used to that money and that lifestyle, it's very hard to let all that go and find something different. So you
Yeah.
get stuck in that pattern, just sucked into it. It's very toxic just in itself.
Yeah. And when it comes to that kind of thing, I do think that Makenzie would have, this is just my opinion, I think that she would have headed in that direction by the
She
time
almost
she,
already is in prison and getting in
yeah,
trouble for it. So we're kind of
yeah,
seeing her headed down that path already.
yeah, exactly.
So you're
And
right.
had she not been in prison, I think that she would have progressed that way too, which is, I don't know if it's good or bad. Like, did prison prevent that? I don't know. I don't know.
I think she was going to do what Makenzie wants to do, no matter where she's at. And
Right.
and we can kind of see her behaving that way. She's going to do what she wants to do in prison, and you guys just don't know who I am, kind of attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot like Courtney. Those personality traits, I think, they're similar, and I think there's just parental role that's involved in both of them. I remember your first phone call ever was where you were saying, like, did Mackenzie's parents create a monster? And I think in a huge way they did, and I think it's the same here. I think they did.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in both cases. Okay. Is there anything you want to add before I end the show? You see, we've almost gone 2.5 hours. I was very excited to do that comparison. I think we are going to cover a little more Courtney Clenney next week, though.
Yeah, I don't have anything to add. It's just a very sad story. Especially knowing that he had recorded something prior. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when we restarted the sound or something, we got a bit of a delay. So the delay is back. But I am going to end the show here. I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone. You see, because of the delay, it looks like Jennifer's happy that we're ending the show, but it's not because of the delay. Sorry, everyone.
I'm not, I promise. I'll miss you guys.
We do miss you when we end the show. We promise. We promise. Yeah. All right. But thank you so much to everyone for watching. Let me read 2 more comments before I end the show. Legally says, thank you guys. It was great to see you guys and hear your perspective. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here as well. We love the comments. Also stay safe. And hi to Stone. Just as we're ending. So hi and bye. Thanks again, everyone. We will hopefully see you very soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.